Have you ever stopped and wondered what really separates those elite operators, the pros, from everyone else when things go sideways? It's not some kind of superpower. It's actually a powerful mental model for making decisions under extreme pressure. And today, we're going to break it all down. Yeah, we're going to dive into the tool that lets some of the world's most effective people stay totally calm and act with this incredible clarity, even when everything is falling apart around them. So, how do they do it? How do they keep it together when they're facing these chaotic, high-stakes situations? It's a question that really it gets right to the heart of what peak performance is all about. And the answer is, believe it or not, surprisingly simple. This isn't some innate talent, a gift you're just born with. Nope, it's a structured way of thinking that literally anyone can learn and practice. It's called the OODA Loop, and I promise you, by the end of this, you're not just going to know what it is, you'll understand how to use it to completely transform your own awareness and make way better decisions when things get tough. All right, so to really get this tool, we have to go back to where it all began, and its origins are pretty fascinating. They're rooted in this strategic puzzle from the Korean War. So the story starts with this guy, a U.S. Air Force colonel named John Boyd. Now, Boyd was brilliant, and he got completely obsessed with this paradox that, honestly, nobody else could quite figure out. So here's the puzzle Boyd was wrestling with. See, on paper, the Soviet-made MiG-15 should have been wiping the floor with the American planes. It climbed faster, it flew higher, it turned better way up high, and yet, American pilots in the F-86 Sabre were winning dogfights at a totally astonishing rate. Boyd had to know why. And here's Boyd's big breakthrough, his aha moment. The battle wasn't being won by the better plane, it was being won by the faster decision-maker. He figured out that the F-86 had two small but absolutely critical advantages, a better field of view and more responsive controls. This meant the American pilots could see, process, and react faster. They were able to get inside their opponent's decision cycle. Think about that. They were forcing the MiG pilots to react to a reality that had already changed. And from that one single, powerful insight, the OODA Loop was born. It became a framework for making lightning-fast, super effective decisions. So let's break down what it actually is. Okay, so OODA. It stands for Observe, Orient, Decide, and Act. Simple enough, right? But here's the most important thing to get. This is not a linear checklist. It's a continuous loop. Every single action you take immediately creates a whole new situation to observe, which starts the cycle all over again, and it happens at a blistering pace. First up is observe. Think of this as your pure data gathering phase. You know how in a crisis our first instinct is to get tunnel vision? We just focus on one thing? Well, the observe phase is your secret weapon against that. You have to consciously force yourself to widen your view, use all your senses, and just absorb information without judging it yet. Because let's be honest, you can't make a good decision with bad info. Okay, next up is Orient, and listen up, because this is the most important part of the entire loop. No exaggeration. Boyd himself called it the center of gravity for a reason. This is where you take all that raw data you just observed and you make sense of it. It's the magic step where raw information becomes actual understanding, and your orientation is totally unique to you. It's a mix of your past experiences, your training, your gut intuition. Think of it like this. A veteran firefighter and a random bystander both observe the exact same fire, right? But that firefighter's orientation lets them see patterns and dangers that the bystander completely misses. So once you're oriented, it's time to decide. Now, this is where a lot of us get stuck, right? That analysis paralysis thing, where we're looking for the absolute perfect solution. The OODA Loop completely rejects that idea. The goal here is to pick the best available option right now, not the perfect one 10 minutes from now. And then, without hesitation, you act. You put that decision into motion immediately. Why? Because every action changes the entire situation, creating a brand new reality to observe, and boom, the loop starts all over again. Okay, so this all sounds great for fighter pilots, but how does this military strategy apply to you? Well, let's take it out of the cockpit and put it into a situation I think we can all understand. I want you to imagine this. You're walking alone in a parking garage. It's late at night, and all of a sudden you hear that sound. Footsteps behind you, and they're getting faster. Right away, those internal alarm bells just start screaming. Okay, let's apply the loop right now. You observe, you hear the sound. You notice the late hour, the isolation. You orient. Your brain immediately flags this as a potential threat. You decide, okay, the goal is to create distance and show I am not an easy target. And finally, you act. You immediately change direction, you move towards a well-lit area, and you turn and look directly at the person. And check this out. In that one moment, you haven't just started your own next loop, you have completely, totally disrupted theirs. You see, mastering the OODA loop is about so much more than just making smarter, faster decisions. It's really about a fundamental shift in how you see and interact with the entire world around you. And this right here, this is that fundamental change in mindset. You stop being a passive passenger in your own life, just getting tossed around by whatever happens. Instead, you become the active pilot. You start using a clear process to navigate events, to shape outcomes, and to move with confidence, even when you have no idea what's coming next. And that right there is the real secret of the world's elite operators. It's got nothing to do with being fearless. It's all about having a superior process. When you have a process, you can stay calm in the middle of chaos because you always know what to do next. Your confidence grows because your decisions are grounded in what's actually happening, not just what you feel. You learn to navigate your world with a real sense of clarity and purpose. So I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. When the challenges pop up in your own life, and they will, are you reacting like a passenger, or are you taking control as the pilot? The choice, as always, is yours.